Welcome to another episode of Skunk Work. I am your host, Caesar. Now, today we're going to be talking about the vernier caliper. And here we go. This is mine. This is a Michitoya 505-712. And let me see if I can get, here's the case for it. Now, again, this is what I've been using for last 30 years. Not this same particular one because I buy on when I used to still have my manufacturing shop. For those that don't know, I'm retired. I used to buy these every year because it was cheaper and better than get them calibrated with the sticker back here. So I used to buy these by the 10. I mean, 10 of these calipers at a time and just keep on stock. And every year I used to rotate them out because when you're using these in the industry, you have to be precise. And they do wear out. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How to read it, how to use it, and how to clean it. Just like the micrometer. For those of you who haven't seen the micrometer, you should take a look at that video. Alright, so let's start out with how to clean them. Again, when I take the best way to clean them is not with acetone or any other kind of chemical, it's with a piece of paper. So we're just going to clamp the paper together, squash it like that. And you can see here the paper has a thickness of 3,000. 1, 2, 3. And then we just draw it. See right here, it's pretty clean. So there's no dirt on there. If there was dirt, it would be wiped out. And you can see the paper is pretty clean. Alright, so that's how you would clean our calipers. I want to make a stress again, you should always keep the case. You can see they give you a nice, durable, hard plastic cover. So when you're using your caliper on the machine, put it in the case. Close the lid, cut what you got to cut. Open it. It keeps it clean, keeps the chips out of it. That's the way you should be using your caliper when you're cutting on the machines. Alright. The second part I want to talk about is what type of caliper should you buy. Now, these calipers, they really come in two sizes. Here, you have here the 6-inch. 6-inch right there. And they also come in the 8-inch. Be right here. They also have a 12-inch. But if you're just starting out and you're looking to buy a caliper, you want to buy a 6-inch because you're not going to need that 8-inch or that 12-inch. You want something, kind of small, durable, you can use on the machine, quick checking. So my suggestion to you would be to get the 6-inch. Now, something very critical. Again, you got to get them with the carbide tip. You see that dark color right there? That's carbide. You get the carbide on the OD. You get the carbide with the, I call them rabbit ears, but they're IDs. You can see the dark color right there. And they come with the, you can see the dark color between, there we go, right here and here. See, these are carbide. The carbide tip. See if we can get that one. You can see the dark color, there's a good shot. Color differentiation, those are carbide. Now the reason you want these and these carbide is because they wear out. A good way to check and see if they're wearing out, you want to hold this up to the light and have it down to 0. And if you see a little light like that, you see light coming in through there when they're closed, that means they're worn out. Something like this. I'm just exaggerating this. See, I have it open about 9 thousandths. But when you have it set to 0, and you hold it up to the light, and you want to see if you see any kind of light coming through. That's when it tells you that the jaws are worn out. Now, if you buy them without the carbide insert, the carbide tip, and you hold it to the light, they will wear it. Like I said, this is just a regular high-speed steel, and it wears because you're constantly checking things with steel, and you're touching steel with steel, and they wear out. That's why I used to buy these in packs of 10s and rotate them every year, because they do wear out. Nothing lasts forever. All right, so when you're going to buy your first pair of calipers, buy them with a carbide tip. If you're going to invest the money in it, just pay that little extra for the carbide. Don't go cheap and just buy them without the carbide tip. Because you're just kind of wasting your money there, because they will wear out. Now, when they wear out, you adjust here. What they do is they lap them here. But if they don't fix this, or your depth, the caliper is really no good. See, that's why I used to buy them by the 10 pack. Because when you have to, this wears out the most, because this is what you use the most. You have to lap this in there. Now you have to lap these. Then you have to lap your depth mic. And then you have a third way to check, and that's with your step. This is called a step gauge. You step. You put the edge here, and you get the reading. Same as here. And here. And here. So, when you buy just the regular, high speed without the carbide inserts, and you go get them inspected or get them checked, and they tell you, yeah, you got wear, or you put it up against the light and you see the light coming through there, that's what's going to happen. Now, this is your analog caliper. It has a dial, and you move it, and you read it. It's pretty easy to read. It's not that hard to understand how to read the. You haven't seen my how to read a micrometer series, so you should look at that. Basically, you see a number here, 6, and then you just add this. You see, there's 20, 25, 25, 26, 27. So there's basically 627,000. Each one of these little lines is equal to 1,000. So you just read the face, whatever it is, add it to the number you see here, or if you see a whole number, that's an inch. So right there you say 1 inch, 165, 66, 67. 1 inch, 167. It's that easy. Basically, what I'm going to go over today is the different types of veneer calipers. If you're a first timer, you don't know which one to buy. I recommend buying the one with the carbide. Here, carbide ID, I call them rabbit ears. And your OD here. And now on the depth mic, there is no carbide. Let's see, where are you? Here. See, it's just the regular high speed. But you indicate these by the edge right here, the two landing, and the tip. And then on the step, which is hardly ever used, but it's the landing here and the edge right here. So, the difference between buying analog and I had never used digital calipers. I bought this one from Shears Tool Company just for this video alone. 30 years in the business, and I had never used digital calipers, and I'll tell you why. The only reason I have this, and I had never used this in the business, is because I don't like that, and I'll tell you why. Here's a brand new case. It comes in a plastic case. I don't see a part number. Oh, here we go. This is called, let me see if I can get it here, the IP54. Now I gotta tell you, this is the higher brand. There's a lesser brand that's not calibrated to industry standard. And I have to show you the certificate right here. This is what comes into it. I guess you could call this a deboxing. So you can see here there's the serial number, certificate, and here's your calibration from 3 to 3 inches and 3/4. And then at 3 inches, you can see here at 3 3/4, it's off by, right here it's saying 10. Oh, that's a slash number, so it's 0. So it holds accuracy there. 3 inches, it holds 0 on your tolerance difference. Here it's only off by 5/10. Between 1 inch and 600, it's off by 5/10. Between 1 inch, it's off by 5/10. And from 3/8, 370, it's off by 5/10. That's the difference. And you can see there you have your inside measurements right there. Your step. And it seems to be off by 5/10. You see? 5/10. So, and this is the more calibrated one, more expensive one. And it comes with this certification. You can see the certified date is inspected by number 1, 2016. And then it has 2 and a 4. And on the back, it has all this number. Alright, so you can see comes in the case, in a plastic bag, never been used. It's only bought for this video. And again, my opinion is people that buy digital calipers, it's just one reason: they're lazy. They don't want to do any kind of math in their head. I don't know why. They find it difficult. They're always looking for the easy. And that's what this is. And I tell you why I don't like calipers like this. Because you got to rely on the battery. You got to rely on the battery. It's so easy to get a false reading on these. Again, we're going to clean it. It should be clean. Never been used. Now, let's see here. Here's my analog Mitutoyo. The paper thickness here is 3,000. You can see 3 little lines. 1, 2, 3. Paper thickness is 3,000. Now let's see what it holds on here. There it is. We got 0. And we're in inches. And I'm going to put it right between there. And there it is. 3,000. Okay. Of course, they're brand new. Now you can see these. I try to get them, but they don't sell them with carbide inserts. It's not an insert, well, it's brazed in there, but it's carbide. They don't sell them with carbide. If they did, I would buy it. I don't know. Well, it adds more to the price that's already overpriced, but more expensive price. You can see these just regular high-speed steel. And you can see the rabbit ears, same thing. They're just ground. And of course, on the depth, same thing. Now, the reason I don't like these is because when you use them, they'll wear out right here. Now, at least with the analog one, you can adjust it. There's a little slot right here on the side. You put a key, and that's how you adjust them. That's how you adjust it. Put a little key in there, and then you have to slip the needle off the gear if they come off track. So you have to self-adjust these. But these, there's no adjustment. Once this wears out here, that throws this off. And it throws that off. It throws everything else off. It throws your step and your depth. And they're really no good for nothing. Because you have to get these lapped in. And then this is you lap this in there, and you lap this in here. But then you're going to have to recalibrate all this. I don't think it's capable of doing that, or you zero it out. You can see why I don't like these. Because when they wear out here, it throws everything off, and then you're going to, because this is digital, you don't know. The electronics in there is not the same as your analog. Your analog is run with a little gear, a rack and pinion gear, a gear that runs off this track right here. See there? That's the rack, and the pinion gear is on the inside. That's what moves the needle. Each one of these two is 140. That calibrates to 1000. See, it's a micrometer. One thing I want to go is when you store and put your things away, never put them touching like this. See? Always leave a little gap in there, and that's so it doesn't build up moisture in there and they stick together, or you know, cause a little moisture corrosion that will water marks in there from the moisture. So that's why you never want to keep your tools set at 0 and closed. You always want to leave a little gap in there. See, there's the 0. And that's why you close it and then you just squeeze it a little bit. And then you put them back in the case. That's how you should do. Same thing with this. But a lot of people, they just close it like that and shut it off. And you just see how it's making contact there. Alright, so let's get with these. Again, these self-explanatory. You can see here, these are the inches, these are metrics. And basically, the way you read this, what you see is what it is. But you got to constantly check it. Make sure you register on 0. Because if you're not registered on 0, origin, push that 0 there, it doesn't even work. Put that 0 there. And then you have a little gap there, and you see you're getting a false reading. So it's so easy to get a false reading. Yes, it's easy to read, but it's also easy to get a false reading. So that's why I don't rely on these. I don't trust these. And I don't like them. You know, you get it, hold it in there, and then you gotta just trust that it was 0 out every time. And with the analog here, you don't have to worry that it's 0 out. You know, because it doesn't have that problem. Have to be calibrated at your 0, 0, your data point, or to register the correct measurement. So basically, that's what it is. Now, check your ID. Put it in here like this, and then you should wiggle this part. Wiggle it so it sits flush on these rabbit ears here. And that's how you check for ID. Wiggle it, spin it, and then at the same time I apply pressure here. So it's constantly touching, and you can see right there we're at the 626. So basically that's 5/8, 626, 5/8 is 625, and we're showing here on 626, 1000 above 5/8. And then do the other side, and you can see the other side. See how I wiggled this? There's no slop in there. That's how I know I got the true measurement. And here 6, and here we got 625 straight up. That is 5/8, 625. So we can say on this side of the hole, we have 1000. Now, when you check something like an ID, you want to check it like the plus sign. You have coordinates. You know, you got the X and you got the Y. So that's the same way you should check these. You check on here. You see that? Check it this way, and then rotate it 90 degrees. And then check the other side. 90 degrees to check the coordinates. And you can see here that it's reading 614. And then we're going to rotate 90 degrees and check it there. And you can see there, look at that. It's reading 627. So what does that tell you? It tells you that this hole is egg-shaped. It's not truly round. And that's how you don't just check in one area. Like that. I've seen a lot of people on the internet, that's all they do. They check there and they think that's your true reading. What you do is hold it there. Now your horizontal line or your X line. Now you want to check your Y. Rotate it 90 degrees and check it there. Now if you get the same reading, you know you got a true round. Now for OD, you want to do the same thing. Put it there and wiggle it. You're wiggling it to find the dead spot or the flat spots where it doesn't move anymore. And you got to keep applying pressure there. And now you see there's your true reading. It's 1 inch 212. And then you can rotate it again 90 degrees. Wiggle it in there. You see how it wiggles? That means it's not truly flat. So you're clamping on the high spots. See? 212, 211. And then we go on the low spot. It's at 29. See that? There's a difference of 3,000. Alright. Now, the most commonly placed is used are the tips. So that's going to wear out the fastest. So when you're checking something like this, you're checking it on the tips. And then you make your reading. But the more you use it, the more it's going to wear out. Especially you get the habit of checking it in the same spot all the time. Using just the tip of the caliper. They wear out faster. So when you go to read something, that's going to be undersized because it's worn out. And you're going to get a false reading. So that's why you should get in the custom of using the whole surface. Not just the tip here. Indicated up here. So it kind of wears even. Like I said, these are carbide. They last a whole lot longer. But everything wears. Nothing lasts forever. So that's what you want to do. No, don't get in the habit. Everybody gets in a bad habit. Just this is the way I check it. I use the tips. Yeah, you gotta use the whole length of the jaw right there. You got the surface from here to here. You don't have to just stay right here. You want to use the whole surface every time you do something. So you get in the habit of making it wear evenly. See? Hold it up there and you get a reading. Hold it down here. So they wear out evenly. See? Now, to check your depth, basically, we're going to put this on the flat right there. So it's sitting, resting. The edge right here, the landing, here and here, it's going to sit on that. And again, you're going to wiggle it until it sits flat. And then you push down. You're going to push down on this. So the depth mic can hit the bottom. And you get a true reading. So basically it's like that. And then you get your reading here. So it's 1 inch 213. So basically, that's it. It's that easy. If you're gonna buy your first pair of calipers, I would suggest get yourself the Michitoya. Get yourself the Michitoya calipers, 6 inch. You don't need to get the 8. And you definitely don't need to get the 12. Get the 6-inch with the carbide tip. Make sure you write that down, look it up on the internet and see how much it costs. And basically, remember to store your caliper in the case. Always leave a little gap in there, because you don't want them to be touching. And when you're using it on the machine or the drill press on the bench, keep it in the case and just close the lid. That keeps all the chips from falling inside and getting it dirty. And if you're one of those and you gotta have the digital, I would prefer you didn't. That way, you're on your path of becoming a better machinist or operator. If you're just starting out, I would suggest that you wouldn't buy the digital, because my opinion, it's just my opinion, this is not reliable for lazy people. They just want everything done for them. I want the caliper to tell me what it is, instead of you figuring it out what the size is. And basically, when they break down, you got electronics, you got coolant splash on there, and you don't know what's going to happen in there. They say it's waterproof, but are you going to really rely on that? If your career and your job is dependent on the accuracy, are you going to rely on that? Because if you do bad parts, you make a hole and then your customer say, hey, it doesn't fit. It's going to make you look bad, and you're going to lose the customer, you're going to lose the job, and you're going to have to repeat and do the job over. When these analogs, they've been around for a reason, because they work. This is what everybody used to use. The other ones are the veneer calipers. The veneer with the lines in it without your dial. Those are harder to read. You really don't need those. This is what you need. And for the price, this is much economical than one of these. So basically, that's the video for today. Hopefully next week we're going to talk about something else. Like I said again, subscribe. Send your comments. Tell me what you want to hear about. Which one you want to go over. And I appreciate your time. And look forward to getting you the next video. Alright, everybody have a good day. And don't forget to subscribe, share, and ring that bell. Thank you.